Hi guys, welcome back to another episode at My Bangla Official. I'm here with Shads and Mohammed. They are from Cogs Social. We're going to be talking about marketing today, digital marketing, social media, all those kind of good things. So guys, if you want to introduce yourself and just tell us your role within the business.
Yeah, my name is Mohammed. My role within Cogs Social is the more of the sales aspect of the business. And Shads?
Hi, I'm Shads. I do more of the ads, the creatives of the business really. So yeah, as a team, we kind of cover the entire thing really.
So digital marketing is actually very fast paced. It's forever changing. It's never going to go out of business. What makes you stand out?
One of the things I would say is every single year we enroll on courses. We're learning from companies that are based down in London, and we try and educate ourselves by reading books, training courses, and also mingling with other social media marketing companies to see what they're doing. And like you said, it changes almost on a monthly basis.
Definitely.
The rules change, the customer, the audience habits change, the sort of information that they want changes constantly as well. Yes.
With social media in mind, obviously at the moment it's everything to do with algorithm, there's strategies and things like that involved. How do you stay up top? So when someone is going to like go to a search engine, because that's the first thing people do, don't they? Our mobiles are like mobiles, whether it be laptops, whatever it is. The first thing people do is go up to a search engine, don't they? Whether that be Google or what be, and search digital marketing. How do you come up top? And if you aren't up top, what strategies do you have then in place to make yourself visible to people? Because that's effectively what you need to be, is visible to people, don't you? Yeah.
The way we stay on top is, or the way somebody should stay on top, is the key words somebody's putting into sort of Google. What will happen is, if you've got a pixel installed onto your website, of any website, and that Facebook pixel then tracks you going onto that website or you searching for, say, a specific set of words, what will happen is that now, if I'm running ads on Instagram and Facebook, the moment that viewer goes back onto his social media, as he's scrolling, he will see an advert from us. And that's pretty much how we capture our audience, because if they're in the market looking for something, that was one of the reasons why they sort of searched social media marketing on Google. The moment they go back on Instagram, we run ads targeting anybody that's looking for those sort of services. And because you're constantly in front of them, hitting them with one ad after another, after the third or fourth time that they've seen you, chances are they're going to go back
on it.
Back onto your website and probably fill in your lead form. And that's how we maintain our sort of position on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, I'm going to ask you something a lot of people, we sometimes do as family when we're around, but my sister would be like, I was just talking about something and I went onto Facebook, and I went onto Instagram, and it's popped up. And obviously, I kind of know a little bit about that and why that happened, because I try to educate myself, because I'm in a platform as well. But for all the viewers out there who think that is so crazy, so bizarre and freaky, I've just spoken about this, or maybe you've seen it on a billboard or something or whatever, and now it's just popped up on my phone.
Yeah. So
how does that happen?
So you've got to see how they capture data. Like back in the days, it'd be emails.
Yeah.
But it's gone really advanced now. Now you'd have like Alexa in your house.
Yes.
But really, you got to see what are they doing with that. They're collecting your data through voice. So if you're sitting there talking, even WhatsApp, WhatsApp's connected to Facebook, and they're constantly taking your data to resell to you. And exactly, that's what happens.
Yeah, simplest form, that is exactly what they're doing. Listening in on conversations, capturing data, putting it into a database, and then rolling it out.
That's it. And that voice is massive now.
Exactly.
You got Siri, you got Alexa, you got WhatsApp, and they're always listening to you. I mean, if you go into your settings, you could change that, but by default, it's on there.
Okay, so I'm a company now, and I've just searched you, and you've come up top, and I'm a new business, and I've got a bit of branding going. I've got some existing, great kind of advertising going, but I need a bit of a boost, and I need you to help me be a bit more visible. How are you going to help me that? I've already got a somewhat good email,
Well, to answer your question, one of the things a lot of people leave out when it comes to marketing is the sales aspect of it. Okay, now as you would sell to somebody physically, you're using social media ads in exactly the same format. You do have to sell to your audience. Now that includes the captions that you're including in your adverts. Has it got power words? Does it overcome your audience's objections? Does it solve their problems? These are a couple of, or two, three things that we would look at and think, okay, do we understand our target audience enough to overcome these objections that they're going to be having? And also the offering that I'm giving them, is that sort of engaging enough? And then the image or the video that you're using, is that stopping them from scrolling down?
Yeah.
The image or the video stops them. Your caption sells. Your offering then tempts them to take either a lead form, booking, or purchase, or you're going onto their website
Action,
and doing
basically.
a call to action.
Yeah.
It needs to hit 3 or 4 of those things, and you need to do multiple varieties of these sort of adverts to see which one actually works, because we all think the adverts that we're doing is going to work, but we don't really know until it's out there, basically.
Okay, so if I was to come to you as a business, I know my business, but I just haven't got any advertising at all. What is the baseline basics that you would offer to someone to start them up? Because it can be quite daunting. You know everything about a business, but you just don't know how to advertise yourself, get yourself out there. So the question I'm posing to you is, what would you offer me in that instance if I have no advertising at all?
See, the question
because obviously
I would ask you is, A, how long have you been trading for? Number 2, does your product or service actually solve a problem?
Yeah.
Do people want it?
Yeah.
You've got to do that homework first, and chances are if you did come to us,
Yeah.
I would do that for you. And then
Okay.
if I could see that you can be helped, then it is literally a matter of, like I said, selling. Your product or service to the right kind of people. Okay. It needs to be people that are in the market for your kind of product or service.
See, with us, we don't take everyone on. We get a lot of people coming in.
Going to get onto that, yeah.
Okay, I'll wait for that question.
No, it's fine. So
But
I was going to ask actually, because so many people can come to you, but if they believe in their business, but you can clearly see that this is not going to work, and you want to save themselves the hassle, or maybe tell them to go do a little bit of homework, and then come back. It all comes down to budgeting, isn't it? Because people don't have a big budget. And the other question in that would be, do you need a big budget for advertising, depending on your business and how far along it is? So that's 2 questions.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of budgeting, I would say if you're looking to go down to the social media route, you'd probably want at least £20 a day to be able to spend.
Yeah.
And then that would work out to about £500-600 a month in terms of your ad spend.
Yeah.
If you're having to pay somebody to do and create the ads for you, then it's obviously additional.
Yeah, because obviously people use the built-in advertising that they have, especially that I have on Facebook and Instagram now. Instagram didn't used to have it, but they do now as well, where you can create an ad yourself and just get a specific, say, story out there or a specific post out there.
That's right, yeah.
So I wrote down here a quote that I found, actually, and the quote was, any business without a solid digital marketing strategy is literally a company leaving money on the table.
That's correct.
So there's some people that are in business and they're just getting business, but you can elevate them, but they just don't want to push themselves like that. In that instance, if a business comes up to you, obviously they know what they're doing already, but without so many words, you can actually tell them that you can do a lot better. How do you approach that when you know that actually somebody knows what they're doing, but they can do better?
See, there's 2 things here. First things first, if they're already doing social media marketing, we would gain access to their back end, and we would look at the data and we would see if there's room for improvement. So for example, how much are they paying per click? How much are they paying for sort of brand awareness? What are they getting from their money's worth? Chances are, if they're not very skilled or they don't have the knowledge, you'd actually see they're wasting a lot of money. They can get that same business and the same trade with a lot less money being spent. And we have helped a number of companies actually do that.
Save money in the long run.
So we had one guy, who was spending. He did hair. He was doing sort of hair sort of transplants and things. And he was actually marketing himself on social media anyway.
Yeah.
And he was spending, what was he spending in the region of?
He was spending £10,000 in ads.
Was that a month?
Is that a month?
Yeah, £10,000 a month on ads.
That's crazy.
So what happened was, he ended up joining us, and in the 6 months he was with us, we shrunk it down to £3,000.
That's amazing.
In the 6 months. And that just goes to show, what happens is, a lot of people don't understand is, if you're targeting wrong, you're ending up showing. So, for example, hair transplants, if he ain't doing it right, he's sending female viewers are seeing it.
Yeah.
And Facebook is still charging them for that ad. Whereas if you're narrowing it down to your core audience, then what happens is you're spending less and you're getting more for your money. Whereas if you just say boost a post and put £50 on there, and you're maybe selling, I don't know, pet supplies, it'll end up being shown to people that don't own any pets.
It's not going to apply to you, basically.
But you're still getting charged for it. So a company like that, we will look at and think, how are they going about doing their thing? And if they're doing it wrong, we'll do the targeting right and then bring the cost right down.
See, it does work. See, companies can be already doing something that's great, but with the specialism that you guys have, you can save the money in the long run and get business as well. Because as a company, you need business as well, and you need your business to thrive too. So if you're saving people money as well, they're only going to stick with you because you're doing great things, aren't you?
I will say one thing, Rella. When we first started 5 years ago, our key motivator was, how do we generate people money and how can we save people money? Those two things was at the core belief. So we woke up every morning thinking, right, okay, let's look at the clients that we've got right now. How can we make them money, or how can we save them money? And with that in mind, we've started to make money, because our goal and our focus was to make money for others or save them money, and it's working perfectly.
That's the only metric we look at. That's the only metric, because you got other metrics like engagement and all of that stuff, but the ROAS at the end, the return on ad spend, is the main metric we look at.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Mohammed mentioned back office. So when he's mentioning things like that, if you've got a business account on, or a content creator's account on Instagram, that is actually your insight. So if I was to approach them both for my business per se, I'd give them my insights. So I'll take a screenshot, or I'll give them some access. They're a professional business, so what they would probably like to do is gain access. So you've got to have that trust element there as well, because if you've got a massive platform, you could probably get a bit of trust issues, don't you? But they're a professional company, so they might say, can we have your credentials, because we need to see what you're doing, where you're going wrong, things like that. So when we say back office, that's what we mean. And back office, any platform has it. YouTube has it, Facebook has it, everyone has it, basically.
There is something I'd like to say to the audience that might be of value to them. There's a big difference with posting on the front end, as in your daily posts, and there's a big difference from actually creating adverts. Now, adverts are created using facebook.business.com, and using that website, you can actually control the ads that you're creating for Facebook and Instagram. Okay, and it's very in-depth and it's very detailed, and you have a lot more control than just on the front end, where you've uploaded a picture. There's more a variety of options, rather than just uploading a picture on Instagram or Facebook, hitting that boost button. Very limited sort of metrics you can sort of play around with. Very little sort of provides very little value, to be completely honest with you. The front posts are generally things that are happening now, current, and adverts should be created on facebookbusiness.com, and that's where it actually generates income, and a lot of people get that confused. So if you're creating ads, guys, make sure you're using the right platform to create the ads, and on the front end, they just post that current, that are happening right now.
It's like your news feed. Is that you're just on the back end, you're creating the ads to either drag them onto your page or your website. So imagine they've come onto your page now. They don't want it to seem it's all blank.
Yes,
so
exactly.
you want stuff on there that you want them to see, the people that you're targeting, and on your front end, it's just daily engaging stuff that you want on there.
It's consistency, isn't it? And people know that this page is consistent. I'm going to be coming here daily, and I know I'm going to see something different. Whereas, there's pages that don't post in months and months, and then that way you lose interaction. Your insights are going to go down. People are not going to want to work with you, etc. and so forth. So coming on to people that want to work with you, I like to ask people this question because this whole social media marketing seems to be very much based around influencers. So I always like to ask people this because you're a professional business. That's not to say that influencers and content creators aren't professional businesses, because some of them are.
Yeah.
Just because the page might not look really professional, I think what they do for other businesses is professional. So you are you're marketers basically. You do digital marketing. Influencers also do some form of digital marketing too. A lot of people approach influencers, like myself as well. They'll approach me, so I'd like to send you this out, in return for a 15-second story. Or there's other people that will contact me and say, please can you send us your rate card, tell us how much you charge an hour or for a post, etc. What do you think about influencer marketing? From a professional business point of view, what do you think of it? And is it great? Does it do good? Is it something you should steer away from, depending on what business you have?
So basically, you need to actually see the influencer first. You can't go to any. The influencer has to be relative to your business. Needs to kind of do what you're kind of doing. If you're just going to someone that's like, always talking about football, and then you want to sell a sari or something,
or go to someone that's
you're gonna kind of waste your money there. So in that sense, you have to do that research. But then again, you don't need influencers, because when you're running ads correctly, you could actually get a lot of engagement on your post, which now builds social proof. So that's what people are looking for when they come onto your advert. They want to see the likes, shares, and the comments. Now that kind of helps them buy off you. You can use them, but you got to be really careful and see, okay, is this influencer right for me?
Because it can be quite damaging as well, can't it? If they don't portray you as a business you are, it can be quite detrimental to your business.
But if their audience will relate to you, then spend that money on them.
It's worth it.
It's worth it, 100%.
The other thing I was going to say is, marketing, it's a variety of things, and influencer marketing is just one section of it. If you're going to really want to market your business, you're going to want to hit all of them, basically.
One of the key things we do is we do a lot of testing. In the first 3 months, all we're doing is testing. We don't want any money back. We just want data. So now you could add your influencers in there just to test. If
and
that
it
works
builds a picture of them, doesn't it?
Yeah. So whatever works best for you, after 3 months, you want to now start scaling and putting more money on that.
Because I know a lot of people that run some marketing, things for like a year. And to me, I think that's a long time to run something for a year and then think about changing it, because you've probably done a lot of damage to your business. I'd say 6 months. I'd hand my business credentials over to someone for 6 months, see what they can do. I think that's a good time. But coming from professionals, that's me. I'm not a professional in your marketing area, but like obviously from yourself, what do you think?
I'd say 3 months.
3 months.
Within the first 3 months, you can gauge a lot of information. How viable is that business? How receptive is their market? How great are the ads that we've created? How well are they faring? And data does not lie. We can all go off instinct, and I think this is working, and I believe this is going to work. But unless you're testing a variety of images, captions, influencers, products, even your call to action, you can test a variety of things on a small budget first, and the ones that work are the ones now after 3 months you want to start putting more money behind. And that includes influencers. So you could test a variety of influencers.
That's it. I think that's great, to be honest. You don't need to just target one aspect. You can try everything in the beginning, see what works for you, grasp a hold of that, and just pay money onto that, couldn't you? If that's going to bring you back return on your investments, then this is working for me. Even if that's an influencer, then I'm going to continue working with this person on a regular basis, and
it's all the research you do before you launch the ads. Really, it's like you got to just keep researching in the beginning.
I do have one thing for the viewers is, whenever you're selling a product or service, try and create a customer avatar. Okay, and what that is, it's almost a metaphorical customer, your ideal customer. What do they like? What are their interests? What their fears are? What's going to get them to buy? What are people saying about your products or services? All of these things actually help build a clearer picture of who it is that you're actually trying to sell to, and then you can tailor your ads to those avatars basically.
Right, moving along, I want to talk about building an email database because that's very important. These days, you'll go onto a website and it just won't let you go further unless you actually pop in your email, or it will, but it's hidden. You'll get an X mark which is hidden, so then you think I've just got to put my email in to get further. But it is usually on the page somewhere. There is, I think, there's certain websites that just don't allow for you to X off that bit.
Yeah.
How do you build a good email database? Because it's really important within a business, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you got to be really genuine. Like, if you're giving somebody 10% off, or you got to give them some sort of incentive for them to give you their email address. If you're like doing it in a kind of like a sly way, you're just going to be, your database is going to be completely wrong.
Yes.
You want it to be genuine,
yeah.
And that's one of the ways. It's just genuine stuff, really.
And the other thing about collecting emails is it's an extremely powerful way of retargeting. Now, what do I mean by retargeting? Let's just say, for argument's sake, I'm selling rings, right? You have now purchased that ring off me, and you've given me your email address. And after, say, 1,000 people have purchased from me, I will then get 1,000 emails, put them into Facebook's back end, okay? And then what Facebook will do is now find me more customers that fit your demographic. So, the majority age group, what gender are they, what their likes, interests. It collates all that information and then now gives me a brand new audience to now target just off the emails that my existing customers have given me.
Yeah.
So that really increases.
That audience there is really powerful. Your sort of ROAS is amazing when you could do
You're
stuff like
spending less and then making more.
Stuff like that you can't
more.
overlook.
Yeah. See, guys, that's amazing. Like, even to hear that, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Just get someone's email and
That's
pop
how
it
we
into
use emails.
emails. Because it will target the right demographic as well, with their age, race, whatever it is,
You don't even need thousands.
Yeah.
Like, Facebook requires 100.
Okay.
Once you put that 100 in,
you're going to get them.
They give you thousands back.
That's amazing.
And it's just amazing, really, to do that.
Okay, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up there and keep it quite nice and sweet. I think we've said a lot of things about it. Is there anything else that you want to tell audience that they need to know?
Yeah. So one of the main things is, in the beginning, you might make mistakes and it may not look like it's going right, but just keep going, because at one point it's going to change.
It's going to work. Everybody falls, don't they? Especially in new businesses.
Well, what happens when you're running ads? You're wasting a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then that might stop you, but you got to just keep going.
That's good to know. If you are a new business, you're just going to keep going. If you get the right guys behind you, then you'll start from a really good, strong foundation in the beginning. People make mistakes. A lot of people try to do it themselves because they want to save money, but in the long run, I think it's better to just pay someone to save you money.
And also, you got a lot of social media companies out there now, and the prices range. Don't go for the cheapest, because you're just going to waste your money.
You might as well throw that money down the toilet, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because it happens. We've seen it.
If somebody's charging you a decent amount, then chances are they know what they're doing, and they're only charging that amount because of the money that they can bring you back.
Yeah.
For argument's sake, if somebody is charging you £1,000 a month to do your marketing, but they're bringing you £20,000 worth of business, the £1,000 really, you're paying them out the money they've given you.
Yeah.
Do you see? So it's price isn't relevant. If you're serious about your business, then at least try and have 2 to 3 months worth of a budget put aside first, give it a go yourself. If it doesn't work, then your next option is to obviously pay somebody to do it.
I think the most important thing is you've got to be really important and passionate about what you're doing, because if you're not, you are just going to be comfortable with the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And if you want to do great within your business, then the bare minimum
there is
isn't going to be enough for you.
One thing I would say is, whenever you start a business from scratch, and a lot of people, entrepreneurship is becoming cool amongst youngsters, and everyone, males, females, everybody wants to set up a cake business and a perfume business, whatever it is. But the thing is, how serious are you about making this work, and do you have a long-term view?
Yeah.
If you're thinking you're going to become rich in 6 months,
No.
it's not going to happen.
That's where a business plan comes in, action.
One of the things
You need
I would say is, if you look at all the successful YouTubers and e-commerce business today, they were around about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And in the start, it was difficult for them. They're successful today, 10 years later. So you got to have a 2, 5, 10-year plan.
Mm-hmm.
The first 2 years, if you're still in business, whether you're making money or not, after 2 years, you're successful.
Yeah.
And from year 2 to year 5, you'll start to see you've built up a nice little following and a regular customer base, and you'll be making a decent amount of money. And then from year 5 to 10 is really where you start to see the growth. So no get rich quick schemes with this sort of stuff. It takes time. It takes hard work, and it takes a lot of effort.
That's it. Time is of the essence. That's very, very important. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a few kind of taglines. They're a bit long for taglines, but then I just want you to come back at me with phrases or words or whatever it is. So let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, the first thing I wrote down is understand target market.
Yeah, so basically, you just got to create your avatar, like Mohammed was talking about earlier on, and from that you're gonna understand your target market straight off the back of that customer avatar.
Even if it means running questionnaires.
Yeah.
To who you think is the right kind of audience for you, you may find from your questionnaires that people aren't really interested in what you're selling.
So in the simplest form, it is to understand who you want to sell to, who your customers are.
Yeah,
that's the simplest form. Okay, study your competition.
Yeah, I mean, one of the greatest things that you can do nowadays is your competition. You could actually go onto Facebook's ad library and actually see what ads they're running as well. So there's so much stuff online where you could, within a day, you could find out exactly what your competitors are doing.
I'm going to try and simplify this again. Simplest form, that would be, if I'm a fashion influencer, I'm going to go into another fashion influencer page and I'm going to see what they're doing and what's working for them and what's not great. I won't do what's not great for them, and I'll start doing what's working for them.
I would say inspired by. I wouldn't say copy it directly.
Yeah.
Look at what they're doing.
Yeah.
Chances are there's somebody that's a lot bigger than you doing something similar to you.
Yes.
Go and have a look at their adverts that they're running on Facebook, library.com, and you'll see they're running certain ads, and just get inspired by it.
That's it,
And chances are it'll work for you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Refine your online marketing strategy.
I would say refining it in the sense of, if you're a new business, the very first thing you want to do before you try to sell is brand awareness.
Yeah.
So a lot of your adverts are going to be literally, hey, this is me, this is what I do.
Introduction.
You're introducing your business and your products, and you want to be doing that for about 2 to 3 months. And anybody that's liking, sharing, or commenting on your posts, after 3 months, you can start to run ads that are targeting those people who have engaged over the last 3 months.
That's it.
So now you're going to be selling to a warm audience rather than trying to sell to a cold audience that don't know who you are.
Yeah.
That's not a very good strategy. If you're new, you want to be able to sort of warm yourself up to your audience first and then sell to them later. That is, in the simplest term, a good strategy to use.
Okay. Marketing is visual when it comes to online platforms, because people like to watch things that are pleasing and aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So how important is it to create great content, have good gear, and to create this content?
Do you want to answer that?
Well, basically, number one, you don't really need good gear. As long as you whatever content you're making, it relates to the people that you're showing it to.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. I mean, you could just pull your phone out now and take a photo.
Yeah.
But you could use like a 5D camera and take a photo. But it's the actual content that you're showing.
Yeah.
That's more important than the
I was going to
quality.
say, the other thing as well is, nobody likes adverts. Do you like adverts?
I don't.
Do you like
They're
adverts?
annoying.
Nobody
They're
likes
annoying.
adverts. So what we found is, over the years, a lot of people are making these promo videos and they're using really high-end camera equipment to take images. That content looks very adverty.
Yes.
And people scroll past it. Nobody really cares about your chandeliers in your restaurant or your trees. They want to know what you as a business can offer them, and if you can speak directly to your audience using your phone, that video will be far more effective than paying somebody X amount of money to create you this fancy promo video that only the business owner likes out of
and
vanity,
nobody else is getting
and
anything
nobody
from.
else is not really fussed really. If you can create content that looks raw, that looks like somebody just taking it off their phone, chances are somebody scrolling will stop and go, ooh, what's that? We've found in our experience over the last 5 years, that's what sells, not the promo videos.
I know a lot of people, online platforms that use their iPhones or just their phone in general to create amazing content, and you know, they'll use other third-party apps to help them along the way. But you don't really need to spend a large amount on.
The thing I would say really is, when you're creating social media ads, the most important thing is, how well are you communicating what your product or service does for your audience? That is the key. However you do that, that's secondary. The very first thing is, am I communicating what my product or service does?
Do they know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Are they going to be asking me questions? Because that's me. When I come across something and I watch it, if it leaves me with like 10 questions in my head, I'm just not going to go further. I'm not going to click on the page. But if I come across a video that just tells me everything about themselves in the video, what they're offering, the product, what it does, chances are I am going to go to their page.
Especially if you can relate, or if you've got that problem that needs to be solved, and that company saying they can do it, you're going to want to find out more, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, this company saying they can do your digital marketing for you guys. It was absolutely amazing talking to you guys, actually. I've learned a lot, and it's something that I'm intrigued about. I like it as well, because I'm on, not YouTube now. It used to be, but not. On Instagram, I like to learn about these things because it helps me. But I really think you're going to learn a lot if you visit this guy's pages, honestly. If you've got any business, plan or strategy or anything and you're just not sure about it, then you need to visit these guys, give them a follow, support them. They've been in the game for 5 years plus now. Between they're good friends, they know what they're doing, they're professionals. So definitely visit their page. We'll put all their credentials and everything below anyway and tag them. So any other last words, guys?
No, work hard and good luck, guys.
That's it. Work hard, guys.